Welcome to episode 5 of the T.O.D. project, brought to you by Triumph Company with your hosts Marselis Scott and Jared Klein. Today on the coveted T.O.D. project, special guest Brandon Basina along with Marselis and Jared will be diving into Brandon's experience within MMA as an amateur fighter, the grind of a fighter, and as well as the mindset that is needed for a fighter to have while enduring the tough process of training and everything that goes into that. Make sure to get connected with Triumph Company on Instagram at Triumph Company US, as well as visiting their website, triumphcompany.us, while using the code TOD10, that is TOD10, for 10% off your order at checkout. Finally, make sure to follow our special guest Brandon on Instagram at Standing Bear MMA, that is at Standing Bear MMA. And with that, sit back, relax, and open your minds to today's episode. Guys, welcome back to episode 5 of the T.O.D. project. Again, like I mentioned in the intro, I'm here with Marselis and myself, and as you can see, we have special guests. I guess if you can't see, on YouTube you can see, but on Spotify you can't see. We have special guest Brandon Basina. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. Ready to ask Brandon some great questions about his skills out there in the octagon or wherever the shape of the freaking ring is. What's good, Brandon?
Doing good. Got some sparring in to start the weekend. Gotta start Saturday morning off with a good scrap. Otherwise, the weekend is kind of blah.
For sure. So to kind of start, Brandon, we'll let you introduce yourself to the audience, so they can kind of get a picture of who you are, what kind of person you're all about. So I guess whenever you want to go for it, and then we'll kind of stem from there.
All right. My name is Brandon Basina. I'm from Red Cliff, Wisconsin. It's a tiny tribal reservation at the top of the state of Wisconsin. I got into MMA about 6.5 years ago. I started my fight career in 2015. I've had 10 fights so far, and looking to go pro next year. I want to become a world champ. There's if I'm not in it for like the greatest of glory, why be in it? But before I started MMA, I was a real fat person. Actually, I was like 305 pounds.
What?
Yeah, I was 305 pounds when I was 19 years old, and I played some like ball sports and stuff, but I didn't really get into combat sports until my senior year when I took wrestling instead of basketball. And then it's been full tilt since then. Balls to the walls. I haven't been able to stop for longer than a month at a time without thinking about it. So yeah, this is what I'm about. I fight, I train year round. I basically just try to live the martial arts lifestyle, try to be in shape at all times, try to be ready for whatever at all times. Even if life is monotonous and boring, I just try to make it interesting by being a killer,
So Brandon, have you ever been kicked in the face and seen stars?
Oh, multiple times, actually. My sensei, Jason Mentz, he's a 3rd-degree black belt in karate. He's a black belt in Muay Thai. He's a black belt in Taekwondo, and he's been training and sparring for longer than I've been alive, and I'm 25 years old. So he's a master of combat sports. It's really awesome to work with him and get to hear and like be close with him, But yeah, he's smoked me in the head like a couple times with a kid.
Man, you're getting trained by a real life Super Saiyan. Dadgum, he got so many belts. So what is your fighting style? Is it Muay Thai? What's the other one? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? I know there's so many different types of fighting styles. What is yours?
So I like to do, my main like striking style is Muay Thai. So kickboxing, heavy on the leg kicks, heavy on the punches, elbows and knees, but I can't do that since I'm not a pro. But next year I'll be going pro, so I'll be able to drop bows on people. But I'm also a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, so wherever the fight goes, if somebody decides to take me down or they try to stand and bang with me, I'm good wherever. I like to be well-rounded and keep these useful. You know what I mean?
Always got to be ready.
Always ready.
TTG, bro.
Yeah, and yeah, it's my fighting style is like I put this pace on people, and like I don't know, it's pretty hellacious. Like I'll put this pace on people, and as I watch them, like they might be able to land a couple good shots on me, but if they don't knock me out, they're not going to win. They're not going to get me out of there, you know. So it's like if I keep the intensity and I keep the pressure on, then they usually start to crumble after a while.
Dude, I gotta wonder like exactly like how it feels like being in that adrenaline rush and you knowing that you got how many rounds do you guys do, like 3 to 5 rounds or something like that?
So for an amateur fight, it is 3 3-minute rounds, and a title fight would be 5 3-minute rounds, whereas professional would be 3 5-minute rounds or 5 5-minute rounds. So it depends. It can either be like a 9-minute fight or 15 minutes or 15 minutes to 25, you know. So I've only gone the distance twice.
Damn.
I lost both times in those fights, but yeah, they definitely helped my confidence just because I was able to keep fighting and scrapping and keep getting off that stool.
Damn, bro. So what is your signature thing? Is it like a punch? You got like a roundhouse kick, you know, something where you just like turn and kick a motherfucker, knock him out? What is your special move?
So on the feet, I like to throw. It's like a switch cross. So I'm an orthodox fighter, which is my right hand will be in the back. But I switch and I throw the cross like a real fast, long jab. And then I'll throw a switch kick towards the body. And if I hit, that fucker's going down, man. There's no stopping it.
Oh, my liver.
Yeah, exactly. Or I like the left hook to the liver too. There's something about hitting somebody in the body and just watching them like die a little inside. It makes me happy.
Man, this man is really enjoys what he's doing. Like it's like the expressions on your face when you express it. It's just like I gotta fight. I gotta do it. Yeah. So I can tell you're a fighter, man. Jared, you got any questions to ask me? Because bro, I can go on for days about this. Man, this just excites me to understand exactly what goes on in a fighter's mind, because I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. I mean, if I gotta fight, I'll fight. And I heard that you're not supposed to fight mad, but that's when I fight best. When I'm mad, I can focus more when I'm mad for some reason. But anyways, so Jared, you got anything?
So yeah, I was so Brandon, I don't know if you know, but the T.O.D. project, we came up with this name not alone because of the company Marselis and I started called Triumph Company, but T.O.D. stands for Triumph Over Defeat. So we're really all about adversity and overcoming that adversity and really figuring out your best self, right? Adversity, you know, iron sharpens iron type of situation. You know, everyone's heard that before.
Yeah.
If you don't endure mistakes and endure hardships, there's no way for you to improve and look back on yourself as a person and really make your own changes. So when I think of you, when I think of like a fighter, like that mistake, like you're getting literally punished instantly if you make a mistake. Like how fast and like how much adaptation does it take as a fighter to really realize that, hey, if I like are you prepared with the outcome of some of those mistakes? Like, do you know if you make this mistake, this is what's going to happen and this is how I counter it, like stuff like that? Like how much I guess mental conditioning as a fighter do you have to do to like really stay on your toes and be able to deal with those mistakes when you are in fact getting punched in the face or kicked in the body, you know, stuff like that?
Yeah. So like I always say it's like 80-20, you know, 80% mental, because 80% mental, 20% physical, because it doesn't take a lot to like go to practice and train, you know, and work hard, but it does take a lot when your brain is telling you to quit the whole time, you know what I mean? So it's like when you're in those dark moments in your mind, like say if I threw a lazy jab and I just got countered with like a cross hook or something and I get hit in the face, well, I could either think of it one or two ways, like, oh, he's better than me and he countered me perfectly, or I could say, well, now I know not to be fucking lazy with my jab and then cover up and move my head a little bit, you know. But yeah, it's mostly mental, because really, if you're unbreakable in your mind, then it doesn't matter if somebody breaks your fucking arm, you know. Like, it's all mind over matter in the fight game, and if you're like fucking if you like get punched in the face and you say like, ow, I fucking can't do this, you know, you're not going to do it. You're not going to be able to continue with that fight. You're not going to be able to continue to push yourself to get that win, or to even get through a round of training, you know. Like, it all starts up here. Like, the belief that you're meant to be doing this, or that you chose to be able to do this, you know. And then also, like, it's like a grit thing. Like, when I get hit, I smile, dude. I can't help it. Like, if somebody lands a real good shot on me, I'm like, oh, dude, that was a good one, man. That was a really good one, but I'm going to fucking get you now.
Whoa.
And so it's like, it's all mental. Like, the more punishment you're able to put on yourself and to continue to do the thing, like I fucking can't stand running. Like, I can't stand running, but every time that I'm running, every step, I'm like, one more step, one more quarter mile, one more half a mile, one more mile. And then eventually, by the time I get home, I ran 5.5 miles, you know what I mean? It's all mental toughness. It's just like, if you don't quit in here, your body will continue to go. And like, that's like, growing up the way I did, I went through a lot of fucked up shit. Like, I lost my dad when I was 12 or 11. And then, like, from there on, I've had a lot of family members pass away, and a lot of fucked up stuff happen to me, and people I care about, and a lot of terrible situations I've been in. But the one thing that's kept me grounded is my faith that if I keep doing this and I keep working hard, I'll eventually be, you know, I'll be something. I'll be able to, like, I don't know, I'll be able to teach other people how to do it, or I'll be a fucking world champion like I'm trying to be, you know. But it's almost all mental. Barely any of it's physical, because like, if you train enough, you train a certain combination, even if you're knocked unconscious, your body will try to throw that as like a defense for itself. So like, if I get hit, there's sometimes I've been hit like 2 or 3 times, and it like shut me off, still standing there, still keeping my hands up, and I throw a combination back, and then I blink and I'm like conscious again, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know what, I don't know what the fuck just happened for that second, but Jeez. And then my training partner will be like, dude, that was a good ass shot, like, way to go. And I'm like, I don't even remember throwing it, so whatever. But yeah, if you keep pushing your brain to do hard things become easier, and then you have to think about them less, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they say everybody wants to be a champion and be great till you get knocked in the motherfucking mouth, and man,
yeah.
Dude, you are a savage at that, bro. Golly, you kind of remind me of a fighter named Nate Diaz. I mean, just from what you're telling me, because it seems like, yeah, like you got a good chin. Like, when you said that you smile when people hit you, like, literally, somebody, like a regular person on the street or something, that would snatch their soul out, because you hit them and you smile. They're gonna be like, what the fuck is this man?
Yeah,
bro, that's good.
I've like slapboxed with my friends, like we'd be partying or something, and they start getting mouthy. I'm like, you want some? Like, you want we can slapbox? No problem, bro. And like, they'll land a good shot, and I'll look at them and be like, all right, and they're like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm like, oh no, it's too late. You got to catch one, you know. But yeah, like with like the masks and the face covering, I learned how to smile with my eyes a lot. So it either looks like I'm really angry, or I'm like fucking deranged. Either way, it gives them something to think about, and then I can hit them in the face, you know.
Different breed, bro. You're a different breed.
Wow. That's why I can't go messing around with people in the club or bars and stuff. You don't know who you're going to walk into that knows how to do those combinations and counter punches, and it's just instinctively like, wow, get the fuck out of my face. Oh, shoot. And then you come to find out you in the hospital, and then you call up your boy. Hey, man, I don't know if you knew this or not, but this dude, he's a black belt in karate. He does MMA and everything. He's a world champion. Like, man, I got to start watching UFC more so I can be aware. Because literally a lot of these fighters, man, that I see, they may not look intimidating, But get them in the damn Marine going good time. They gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, for sure. And like, my jiu-jitsu coach, he, my first fight that he was like a part of our team, like the day of the fight, we were all sitting around this restaurant eating breakfast together, just having, team breakfast. And I ordered some oatmeal and fruit. And I had my glasses on. I don't have them anymore. I wear contacts. But I had my glasses on and this nice little comfy sweater. And I was reading his book, eating oatmeal and shit. And he's like looking at me. I don't know if this motherfucker is going to be able to fight, man. I don't know if you can. He was telling me this after the fight. But, once I got my hands wrapped, once my gloves are on, it's go time. And there's no fucking turning around. I'm already there. I'm already wrapped up. The only thing I got to do is not die. Hopefully kill a motherfucker or, whatever, knock him out, choke him out, break his arm, whatever. But I ended up winning that fight. And, I ground and pounded the dude, TKO him in the first round. And my coach came up after me and he's like, dude, you're like two different people in the same body. He's like, there's this little fucking nerdy guy sitting at the table eating oatmeal and reading a book. And then you put those gloves on and it was like fucking darkness, dude. And I was like, well, I mean, you kind of got to have the balance, like I can't go around being a fucking wild savage all the time. I can only do that at the gym or in the cage or at another gym. But yeah, it's a balancing act for sure. I can't there's no way I could do it without it.
So
I'd definitely be in jail or something.
Yeah. So everyone has their inspirations, right? So I guess like you got to get this mindset from something, right? Yes, obviously life happens, those things are going to ground and pound you. I like saying that. I like that. I liked when you use that ground and pound. I like that. So I'm going to use it.
Good.
So life is going to take you by the nuts and throw you around a little bit. We all know about this. So other than life smacking your ass up a little bit, who do you look for and like who do you read, like who do you listen to that is like your number one or go-to kind of inspiration aspect where like in those hard times your mind goes and you grab from them and like you can always rely on their information as as something that is like your rock?
Yeah. So I always think of it as if David Goggins, like you probably know David Goggins.
Yes, we do.
I always pretend like he's sitting right behind me. Like, what are you fucking doing? Why aren't you doing work? Why aren't you running? Why aren't you pushing? And so I'm like, if I'm ever feeling lazy or if because I work out at home and stuff too. So I'll just be like, oh, I don't want to do these push-ups today. I don't want to do this today. In my mind, I'll have fucking David Goggins being like, fucking do it. Stay hard, motherfucker. And I'm like, oh, let's go. Fucking, yeah. But David Goggins is like my number one inspiration for right now. The one that got me into MMA, though, is definitely Anderson Silva. I watched him fight back in the day, dude, and I was like, oh, shit, I want to do that. I want to be able to fucking knock people out like that. Diego Sanchez, too, back in the day. He was a fucking animal. I watched him kick Clay Guida in the head. And then
Clay Guida, I was just thinking about Clay.
I was watching that fight, and he landed this fucking wicked head kick, and all Clay Guida's hair flew forward, and he bounced back, and he hit the mat, but he got up, and he kept fighting. And that was like the main part, because I was like, damn, I want to be able to kick people in the head, but I also want to be able to get up like that dude did, Wow. So it's like, all mental toughness right there is like, that was all true display. His body just was like, nah, I'm not going to bed yet. Gotta keep fighting. Gotta get this fucking scrap.
If there was one fighter that you want to fight and they're like one of the big time fighters, who would be that fighter and why?
Israel Adesanya. He's got my belt. No, but he's really just like probably the best striker in mixed martial arts today. He's got this, I don't know, he's got this super style, dude. It's fucking crazy to watch. Like, I try to emulate him a little bit, and I'm like, it wouldn't really work for me all that well. But, like, to be able to get into the ring or octagon or even on fucking training mats, dude, just to be able to train with them or fight with them, it it would be awesome. I would learn a lot from it, and maybe, just maybe, I'll knock that fucker out.
Hey, anything can happen in a dang octagon, dude. Like literally, you gotta be prepared to die. I've seen him fight, man. That dude, he's on another level. I can't remember the one guy's name that he fought, man. His name starts with like an M. It's like Maz. I can't even say it right, but I know he's like one of those top fighters. And I was just like, damn, he did that to him. Like, dude was good too. I can't remember the fighter. One day I'm gonna let you know. Matter of fact, I'll see you his Instagram later on. I think I know.
All right, sounds good.
Fighting has always like mesmerized me. Like the way like there's so many different complex variables that you got to worry about, and like, oh, like if he stand like there's probably like different cues and stuff, just like anything else that like you gotta have your head on a swivel. It's just watching it just amazes me. Like whether it's boxing and whether it's UFC, it's just so fun to watch. It's so mesmerizing to watch. It's like two well-oiled machines trying to figure out how to counter one another, and it's just so like captivating.
Yeah, and like with fighting, like it's all really mechanical. Not like you shouldn't have to think about it if you're gonna fight. Like I get it on an amateur level. If you're just starting out, yeah, you're gonna be nervous. You're gonna be thinking a lot. You're gonna be mostly in your brain. Like, what the fuck am I doing in here? Like, why am I in this cage right now? Why am I fighting? But by the time you're like going pro or like thinking about it, or you're a high level professional, all that shit is automatic, dude. There's like mental pathways get fucking carved in your brain. And if you throw a jab 10,000 times, well, if somebody throws a fucking sloppy jab at you, you're gonna stick them, dude. Real quick, And it's the same with jiu-jitsu. Like if somebody were in my guard and they try to pass my guard, I can grab them by their fucking head and their shoulder or their hip, and I can push them whichever way they're trying to go and make space for myself. So either I can stand up or I can get a better position on them. But it's all automatic. Like I don't even have to think about it anymore. If somebody tries to pass my guard, I automatically close the door, which is I bring my knee to my elbow so they can't get to my hip and pin me to the floor, and I can move around a little more, Or if somebody like throws a leg kick at me without setting it up with a jab, I just whip 3 punches at them. Don't care what kind of punches they are. 3 punches, blah, blah, blah. Make sure they try to hide that better, or they set that kick up a little better, So it's like it's all automatic. The training, it comes in handy, because if somebody hits me with a cross or with a hook, then my automatic instinct is to hit him with this punch, hit him with another punch, hit him with another punch, and then leg kick him on the way up. So nothing is for free, and like after you train for so many years, it becomes totally automatic, and you don't have to think about it anymore.
That's what I'm talking about. Look, me and Jared going to come up there. I know you stay in Wisconsin. We're going to come to the gym one day, man, and learn a little bit. Now we ain't want to spar with you though. We want to learn about the bags, how to do the moves and stuff. Yeah. It'll be a good time, man, to get with you in person and learn a little things.
Bro, I'm only 20 minutes away. I could come up there any day I want.
Yeah,
go up there, Jared.
CWB Fight Club. We're here in Stevens Point. Come check us out. We got classes 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. Jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. It's the most fun thing I've ever done, and I'm fucking jumped out of an airplane, wrestled a bear, fucking whatever.
Whoa! I thought only Khabib does that. You wrestled a bear, bro?
Yeah, I did it unintentionally. The bear fucking wrestled me when I was.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, so I got fucking smacked around by a bear when I was 12 years old, and my friend saved my life. It was pretty fucking crazy, honestly.
Oh my gosh! Is that why your Instagram is Standing Bear?
Well, yeah. Well, no, not really. One of the guys that was coaching me back in the day, probably around 2017, my first 4 fights in a row, I lost, like all of them. And I was going by Bigfoot at the time because I was like a big heavyweight fighter. I was all out of shape and sloppy or whatever. And I was like, I'm going to be Bigfoot Basina, And I ended up losing my first 4 fights in a row. And I was scheduled to be a co-main event for this one guy at the casino on my reservation. Legendary Waters. And the main event ended up getting canceled. So I got bumped up to main event as an 0-0 or 0-4 fighter. And the guy I was fighting was like, I don't remember his record. I think it was like 1-2 or 2-1 or something. But yeah, so we ended up being main event, and my guy who was coaching me at the time told me, "Hey, I came up with a new name for you, and you're not going to know it until fight night." And I was like, "Oh shit, all right." So when they called me out as Standing Bear, and holy fuck, dude, it was crazy. Like walking out in front of all my like people, all my tribe, you know, like everybody was there, dude. The place was packed. I ended up losing the first round. It was like a catchweight fight at 200 pounds, and this guy was like 5'6", 200 pounds. Oh, so he's like, yeah, exactly. So I'm like looking at him. I was like, holy fuck, this dude he's beefy, dude. And he ended up picking me up and slamming me, I think 4 or 5 times, and he was like ragdolling me around the cage. But in between the rounds, I stood up immediately, and like my coach was talking to me. And I was sitting on a stool and I was looking at him around my coach, and I could see he was like being held up by his cornerman. Like he couldn't even fucking stand. He was so out of breath. And I was like, well, I'm going to kill you now. That's what's going to happen. And we walked out. I didn't touch gloves. He tried to circle around to my right, and I fucking head kicked him right in his face. And I saw him like cover up like this. And so I started throwing shots at him, and he tried to run away from me. And I grabbed him, and I like over headlocked him against the cage, and I was throwing hammer fists at his head. And then he turned away from me and tried to like kind of half crawl, half walk away. And I threw an uppercut right through his guard and fucking knocked him unconscious. Ooh. Yeah, the whole place, dude. The whole place fucking exploded. I swear we blew the roof off the place, dude. It was insane. It was my first win, first fight with a new name, and yeah, it was a fucking badass fight. It was a nice knockout.
Hell fucking yeah, bro.
Those 4 losses, bro, you needed them to get you to that first point. You might have thought like, damn, maybe this isn't for me. And dude, you probably learned so much more from the L's, man. But that is phenomenal, dude. Look, me and Jared, we're gonna come by, man. We're gonna be outside the octagon, sitting by, like, hey, he was on our podcast before he did that. Yeah. We gotta come support, man. We might have to walk out with you.
Be your hype man. Let's go.
But yeah, dude. I'll let you guys know when my next fight is. It might be my pro debut. I don't know. See how it goes. But for now, I'm gonna just keep training, keep working hard. You know, be in the gym.
Hell yeah, that grit is just otherworldly. Like that is like almost like people with the grit that you got. I sometimes think it's a genetic thing. Like sometimes it's just built into you right away, and like you can't teach grit like that. You can't teach work ethic like that. It's insane. Like my hat's off to you, how much work you do and how much you've gone through, and then still been able to stand back up and really, you know, give it your all still. Like you really realize the big picture and realize how much that does for you. That's amazing.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that. My first fight did not go as planned. I was like, I'm gonna fucking knock this guy out. I'm gonna, you know, saying all the right things, doing all the right stuff, and and I ended up getting knocked out in 54 seconds, dude. It was the first time I ever got knocked out cold. I remember I threw 3 jabs and I landed every single one. Pop, pop, pop. And then I hesitated for half a second on the overhand right. After that, he started fucking bombing on me, hitting me with big hooks. You know, he was just bar brawling basically. And got me up against the cage, and I tried to throw a big overhand right, and he caught me with a hook straight to the chin and knocked me out cold. But the reason I knew I was going to do this is because even though I was completely blacked out, like I don't remember the end of the fight, I don't remember the doctor talking to me, I don't remember walking to the back of the room, but when I came to, I was like, holy fuck, man. I was like, shit, where am I? There was like I had a towel covered in blood in my hand. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh shit, did I lose? And they're like, yeah, but you took it really well. You were acting really professional and you were actually being really nice. And I was like, oh shit, okay, well, like that's cool. The promoter and the like the people running the show, they're like, dude, we're gonna have you on again. That was, even though you lost like that, you were fucking really professional and you did a good job of showing sportsmanship. I was like, oh shit, cool. Like, and then my grandma actually was there along with like a couple of my other older relatives, and they watched me get knocked out like that, and I had to get stitches in my face, and they were like, are you gonna do this again? Like, I can't believe you even did it the first time. And I was like, yeah, I am. I got a fight scheduled in 2 months actually. And they're like, oh my god. And yeah, dude, even after getting knocked out like that, and then my second fight, I got wrestled for the whole fight, lost the decision. My third fight, I got TKO'd as a heavyweight because I took a fight on 5 days notice. Yeah, that was a crazy one. That one was for Ben Rothwell, like the UFC heavyweight. He asked me to fight him, guys, and I took the fight, but ended up getting kind of shorter by the ref. There's like 3 or 4 seconds left, and he called the fight, even though I just fell over. But it was whatever. I got cauliflower started because of that fight. My fourth fight was also a TKO. Lost in the second round, but I was like 195 pounds. I had like just started losing all the weight, you know, like, well, not just started, I lost like a fucking 100 pounds by then. But yeah, they told me it was a 205 fight, and I was like, all right, you know, I can make 205 by eating and drinking water and, you know, whatever. Like, I took that fight on a day's notice, and it was an 11-hour drive, and we got there. I made weight. When the next day they called the fight out, they called it out as a heavyweight fight. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, I must be next. And they're like, fighting out of Red Cliff, Wisconsin, Brandon Basina. And I was like, I guess I'm fucking fighting a heavyweight. Like, you know, I made my walk. I scrapped that dude up, but he ended up catching me with some big hooks and fucking rocking me. But
you got a UFC name too.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate
you do.
That.
Like,
I like the BB. It's like a fucking superhero name, you know, like Bruce Banner.
Hey,
some Hulk action. Let's go.
Yeah, and yeah, I ended up losing that fight, and I was like, how much do you weigh? Talking to the guy I fought, and he was like 225, 230, and I was like, fuck, you got like almost 40 pounds on me, dude. And he was like, oh damn, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, I got told it was 205, and here you are, fucking 230. I was like, fuck.
How much of a difference does that make?
A lot. Like, if you and I are 195 pounds, or say I was fighting myself, and I hit, you know, with a jab, I would like bounce my head back. You know, I might, like, if I catch myself real good, I might stumble back a little bit. But if the person I'm fighting has an extra 40 pounds, unless my punch has that same 40 pounds worth of pressure in it or something, I don't know the exact science, I'm not really going to be able to move them. So when that fucking extra 40 pounds hits me in the head, it's like a brick, you know? It's like, yeah, it's like they have a roll of quarters in their hand or something. And that's when I knew. I was like, I'm not going to fight heavyweight or 205. Like, I'm going to see what's up with like 170. And then I cut to 170 and I was too weak. Like, I didn't have the strength to do what I needed to do. So I ended up losing. But now I'm at 185 and I'm a fucking monster.
Hey, let's go.
You got them guns. All right, bro, I got to ask you this. Like, my bad for cutting you off, Jared, but do you ever just like wake up in the middle of the night, like you fighting, like you wake up, you're like, oh shit, like I was just in a dream?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you know what like a Granby roll is, but it's basically if I were on my knees, I would tuck my head down and then roll across my shoulders to get to like a different spot on the mat. It's kind of like, I don't know, like a tuck and side roll, basically. But I've done that out of a dead ass sleep. Like woke up, Granby rolled in my bed, and was like, "What the fuck am I doing? Like, why?
Just on the
why?
floor and just like
Yeah,
what the fuck?
like, why did I just fucking somersault in my bed?" And I was like, "Oh, I must have had a dream I was grappling or something." And yeah, it's I'm like a real vivid dreamer too. So like, I talk a lot in my sleep, or I'll like fucking hit the bed, and like if somebody's next to me, I just hope that I never do that.
Oh,
Man, that band
Jesus.
didn't want them problems, bro. That
Right? Yeah.
band-
Damn,
Man,
bro. Just got flashbacks rolling.
Yeah. Right. Like it's I don't know. When I do dream about fighting, they're like crazy. Like I have real vivid dreams, and they're real like detailed, and it's almost kind of like I can't tell the difference between life and real life, or a dream. And so I'll just be like, I'll be fighting somebody, and I'm literally like beating the shit out of like crowds of people, and I'm like, this ain't real. Like you're tripping. Like I've been in a fight with three guys at the same time, and it did not go like this. Like
whoa, hold on. How did that go? Like you gotta hold
You
on.
got to tell
So
that story.
who went first? Who went
yeah.
first?
So I was at this party, and I was I don't know, I was trying to talk to this girl, you know how fucking teenage guys do. I was 21,
Yeah,
100%.
and
boys over
fucking
girls.
this guy said something rude to her, and I was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, watch your mouth. And he started talking shit to me, and he ended up pushing me a few times. And I
He
told him,
fucked up.
I was like, don't fucking touch me, dude. I'm not kidding. Don't touch me again. And he pushed me again. And I took the momentum of the push, and I stepped back, and I hit him with a left hook right on the chin, and I knocked him out actually. But
Oh,
he sat down in an invisible chair and like bounced back, and his head bounced off the floor and woke him up. And he was like, "What the fuck?" And he looked up at me, and I was looking down at him, and I was kind of laughing. I was like, "Talk all that shit, you got knocked out." Like, and he kept trying to fight me, so I ended up whooping this guy's ass, and I was real fucked up at the time. I thought I threw him into a wall, but it was actually a big ass flat screen TV,
oh,
and so I was
Ooh.
fighting this dude, and then out of nowhere, I felt somebody else hit me in the face from the side, and then another guy pulled me by my shirt to the ground. And the original guy I was fighting, I was trying to grapple with, while these two dudes were standing above me, kicking me in the head and in the back and shit. And yeah, I ended up getting stuck in a headlock, and me being a fighter, I like covered up my eyes and nose and mouth. I was like, cover this off shit. You know, he was hitting me in the forehead. And I was like, you could fucking hit that all day, bro. You're not going to break that. That's the strongest part of my body, you know? Like,
hmm
fucking. So he's hitting me, and he's talking shit. And I'm like, dude, hit me again. And he fucking hit me, and I blacked out for a second. And I came to, and I was like, fucking Ronda Rousey armbarring him. And I was like, I don't
He
know
was about to
how.
break his shit off.
I was like, I was all drunk as fuck, so I was like, I'm gonna break it, motherfucker. And I started to try to break his arm, and his friend was like, let him go, I'm jumping in. And fucking me being the nice guy, thinking the fight's over, I let him go. And the guy that was standing above me fucking hit me in the face while I was laying on the ground.
oh,
And
motherfucker.
the guy I was armbarring, I tried to grab him and pull him back in to break his fucking arm, but he started wrestling. And then my brother Eric came and bulldozed his way through the crowd, picked me up, and we got the fuck out of there. But yeah, I got beat up pretty good by those three guys.
Bro,
Jeez.
we not counting that shit, bro. Cause I don't like when people do that, man. Cause
Yeah.
I got experiences like that being in fights. So like, look, I'm not an MMA fighter, but I'm gonna explain a fight that I went into when I was younger. This is back in 7th grade. I'm 24 now, so that was like 13 years ago or some shit. So
Mhm.
me and this guy, we was in a music class, and he took some off the teacher's desk. And one of these girls in the class snitched on him. I'm over here minding my business. I'm doing my work. I ain't even know he even did it until later on, until the teacher actually said something and he went out the classroom. So he stole from the teacher. And so he got caught, got in trouble. He thought it was me the whole time. And we was outside walking around. We had like this like walking trails, like a big ass circle outside the front of the school. And he was just like, dude, we're gonna go to the big tree. There, when we say go to the big tree, we know something about to go down. We about to fight. So he was just like, look, at 3 o'clock, we're going to big tree. I'm going up there, I'm gonna whoop your ass. He's talking all this shit in front of everybody. I'm just like, man, I'm like, hey, bro. I said, I didn't do it. I said, I'm not fighting. I ain't worried about that. So anyway, school rings, you know, the bell rings, everybody's going outside. I'm like, all right, look, I'm gonna go to the tree before he gets to the tree. I'm just gonna have myself ready. So I go to the tree, I take my jacket off. Whole crowds of people are walking with him. He's walking all like macho and shit. So he walks up to me, and the first thing I do, I clock him right in the jaw. Boom. Then I grab him, I get on top of him, I start hitting him and shit like that. He didn't even get a hit on me. He tried to roll me over, but I ended up rolling back over. I started hitting him and stuff. And then one of his gang member guys, they were GDs, Gangster Disciples, picks me up. And this dude was like a grown man in middle school. Like literally, he probably was about 215, 5'10" in fucking middle school. Picks me up by my shirt, because I was probably about 145 back then, 150. I was a little skinny little thing.
Yeah.
Picked me up. Wow, hit me in the back of my head, and I hit the ground, and like he started walking off. I was just like, man, I was like, if you want them 80 more pounds bigger than me, boy. But that's why I don't like when people jump into fights like that. But you had 3 motherfuckers you had to worry about. You know, that's a little different, but you know, sheesh.
Yeah, dude,
can get out of hand.
It's not fucking cool, that story. That story is like the most uncool shit. Like, got fucking beat up because of pride or whatever. You can break it down to that, you know. But like the next day, I was like trying to recover. You know, I was trying to like fucking ice my forehead and like drink water and shit, trying to get rid of the hangover. And he was still talking shit to me, this guy. And he was messaging me, and I was like, you know what, man, fuck you. I gave him my address, and I was like, I'm here right now. Come here. And he was like, oh, you're from the res? Next time I'm in the slums, I'll let you know. And I was like, bitch, fucking meet me halfway. Actually, I'll fucking come to you. And so we ended up meeting halfway at this baseball field. And I got all my guys, you know, all my brothers. I was like, fuck that. I ain't going to get jumped again. Y'all are coming with me. So we rolled up 9 deep. Fucking, we had people. Like me and my squad, we don't fuck around. If one of us goes to war, we all go to war. And like, they showed up with 11 guys. They showed up with 11 fucking people, and the 2 of the guys, the first guy I fought and one of the guys who jumped me, both started walking up to me, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, all right, you know, we're gonna get jumped again, I guess, whatever. And they started talking shit, and I ended up fucking trying to square up with the one guy who jumped me, and the fucking dude was like, I thought I was fighting, and I was like, well, you can fucking catch him too, let's go then. And he like stepped towards me, and I swung on him like right away. I wasn't fucking around. So like less than 12 hours after I got beat up by them 3 guys, I went and fought that guy again. And I ended up just being fucking so tired. Like, we fought for a couple minutes, but I ended up tripping and falling. And I was like, man, fuck this. I'm done. Like, I don't have the energy. And then the guy who jumped me sucker punched my brother, and like out of nowhere from behind, like hit him square in the face. And he like took the momentum and came back and fucking cracked that dude and beat his ass. Like, fucked him up bad.
He did.
And they're like, oh, he's got a bad knee. And everybody's like, well, the guy he fucking sucker punched is 16. So either you could take an ass whooping or go to jail. Like, what's the point? You know, what's happening? So the dude who ended up jumping me ended up getting beat by my 16-year-old brother. Like, I was looking at one of their guys, and he was real small. Like, he was probably like 130 pounds. I was looking at him. I was like, if I fucking hit this guy clean, we can start this big-ass fight, like this big brawl. And I stood up to fucking do it, and I was like, fuck, I'm so tired, dude. And like, after that, shit settled down. But that was one of those moments where I was like, damn, I could have been in one of those fucking 80s movies group brawls, you know?
Oh, yeah. With like glass bottles and fucking...
Yeah, like somebody pulling out a fucking bandana with like a lock on it, you know, fucking crack. But yeah, shit was was wild growing up on the res, man. I had to fight.
Geez, honestly, I wish I got into more fights when I was younger. You know, I've only gotten to like football, like 5-second fuck you brawl type of situation.
Yeah.
nothing like straight fist on fist after school, or like nothing like that.
Yeah, there's this one guy, when I was in high school, we were like partying on the weekend or something, and he ended up like pushing me, and I was so fucked up. I just like ran away. I literally just sprinted away. I was like, "Fuck you, man! I'm gone. Like I'm not getting beat up right now. I can't even stand." So I like sprinted away. And on Monday, he was like, "I'm getting off your bus and I'm gonna kick your ass." And I was like, "Oh, fuck you. Okay, whatever." Like in high school, I was 6'3", and like 270 plus pounds. So I was a big dude. I was
Jesus.
like, but yeah, dude, you want to fucking go? Let's go. I had like been in a few fights before then, but none like serious, yeah. And so he got off my bus, and I was like, "Are you sure, man? Like, are you sure?" And he ended up coming at me, and I ended up whooping his fucking ass, dude. I put the beat down on him. But all his friends got off the bus and watched me beat his ass, and like they were all trying to be my friends after. I was like, "Man, y'all gotta fucking go away. Get away from me. I don't want to fucking talk to you." But yeah, like after that, I didn't get into any more fist fights in high school. Nobody wanted to fuck around and find out.
They gotta quit messing with you, Brandon.
Yeah,
Golly,
Jesus.
when they gonna learn their lesson, man?
No one knows. No one knows the lesson.
Now you gotta sign paperwork to get smoked, so you know they kind of know now.
Man, whoever got to sign that paperwork, they probably shaking. Oh, shit,
Yeah,
sign it.
I don't want to sign it. I don't want to do it. No. I've had a couple.
Brandon Basina, bro. Man, let me be the commentator. I'm gonna be like, "Oh yeah, sorry for your luck, but you better get your ass."
Yeah. And the other guy, my bad.
Man.
God damn.
So what is like your special like routine you do before a fight? Do you like to meditate before a fight? You know, calm yourself down. You got like certain music. Like, what is your routine before you get into the octagon?
I usually like I have a fucking playlist of music that kind of like all the songs get me hyped in a way, you know, like certain bars or certain rhymes or whatever get me kind of hyped. But I usually just take a shit and then I'll take a nap. Like I'll sleep for probably an hour and 30 minutes before the fight, and then yeah, about half hour before the fight, I'll start getting warmed up and ready, hitting mitts, going through like some game plan and stuff. But yeah, I really like to take a nap. I don't know why my body just kind of knows. It's like, okay, you're about to do the hardest thing in your fucking life, so let's enjoy right now and take a little sleep. You know, like it helps chill me out, keeps me from getting like mentally overloaded. You know. I have ADHD, so if like I walk through a crowd and everybody's trying to talk to me, I'm gonna literally stop and talk to everybody for a couple of minutes. You know, it's like, so if I just take myself out of that and just put myself to sleep, by the time I'm ready to fight, that's all I'm thinking about is the fight, and I don't have to worry about nothing else.
Nice. Because I know they say it's scientifically proven. Like you can sit there in your mind and think about the fight and your moves and stuff, and your brain won't know the difference. Because I know a lot of fighters like to prepare their mind and already have, you know, certain things to think about doing before they get into the octagon. So when they get in there, it's like, okay, my mind's already seen it. It's just not time for my body to really do it. But yeah, man, this podcast has been off the chain, man. The stories, the Bear story, like, good God, man. You remind me of Khabib, man. But hold on, what weight class is Khabib in?
Lightweight, 155.
He's smaller than you then.
Oh yeah. I fucking like. He's what 29-0 right now.
Yeah, crazy.
I heard he walks.
Retired though.
Yeah, but they're talking about his last. He's trying to get his last fight to be, in the Olympics or something. I don't fucking know, but he. I mean, he's 29-0. It would be fucking sweet to see somebody go 30-0, but I heard he walks around at like 190, 200 pounds, dude, and I was like, fuck, man, I hope he never comes up. Like, I hope he never comes up to middleweight, because that'd be fucking gnarly to see that dude just fucking manhandle other 200-pound guys, you know, because I know he can do it. And it's like not a if, it's like shit, if he did that, he would dominate those guys too, unless, you know, they're beastly like that. But yeah, fuck, man, appreciate that comparison. That's sweet. Thanks.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you kind of got the look too. So, bro, hey, this has been a good podcast, bro. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. We have so much sauce. This may be one I actually go back and play because You know, Jared asked me, "Hey man, you go back and listen to our podcast." Most time I don't because I'm usually in the podcast. But this is
Right.
one I might actually go back and listen to, and I may actually put my brother in prison onto this because listening to MMA fighters, I'm like, dang, my brother could have been one instead of going to prison. Hopefully he gets out, man. I can maybe connect you with him because he always was in fights. I can send you videos on Instagram, dude. That dude's savage. But anyways, that's my little big brother. I won't even mess with him, though. He be scared of me. I'm like, bro, what are you scared of me for? You sitting.
Hey man, fucking let that fear sit there. Let him know. Like, fuck it, man. If you're afraid, be afraid. Don't ever find out though, because you probably whoop my ass. No.
Hey, he life flighted 2 inmates to Vanderbilt Hospital and broke some jaws. So you know, I know he's ready to get it,
He's
man.
got hands. Got hands. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's got hands. So I appreciate you for hopping on this podcast, Brandon. Jared, you already know it's always good. The T.O.D. project, we needed some of Brandon Basina. Hold on, did I say it right? Basina, yeah, Brandon Basina on the daggone podcast. Feel good about this. Jared, you got any last words before we close this bad boy out?
Brandon, again, thank you for coming on. I know we've been connected for a little bit now. Always wanted to kind of get down on a call and talk to you. So this turned out great. But anyways, guys, Brandon's links will be down in the description. If you're on Spotify, in the description of the podcast. If you're on YouTube, it is down in the description there as well. His Instagram at Standing Bear MMA, as well as all our socials, Marselis and I's as well. So yeah, thank you for coming out and listening to episode 5 of the TOD Project, and we will see you guys next time.